Welcome back to the Rock AHS.
I'm Will McCracken.
And I'm Lily Rose Day.
With finals starting next Friday, it's important to be as prepared as you can be for your test.
There's always a traditional advice of studying, getting a good night's sleep, and having a full breakfast. However, Eddie Clark and Aiden Rattel worked on getting some more tips for the students of AHS as they head into next.
With the semester coming to an end, we at AHS have to prepare for finals. We all know studying is the key to acing these things, which leaves the question, what's some good ways to study? To find out the answer, we've sat down with a couple teachers to see what methods they suggest.
I would say that it's probably never too early to start studying for finals.
Start now studying, and students need to think about this from the standpoint of all the assignments they have now lead. If students can get those things done now, earlier and spend some time on it, it'll save them time. So just don't put everything off.
Personally, I always found that the best way for me to study was to go back over notes. Oftentimes, at the end of high school and in college, I would go back through my course notes and I would actually rewrite them.
In finding a good partner. In college, I had a really good friend who was funny and very smart, and we had fun studying, but we also got stuff done. So I think don't just stare at notes. Make it a game. Read them to each other. Have your parents ask you, but just keep it so you're active and not just staring at paper or a book.
Although teachers are a great resource, students are actually taking the finals. So we sat down with a few to get their thoughts.
I hate finals with every bit of my soul. And the reason for that is that it's just super stressful and I don't want to do the studying. And yeah, but I mean, I haven't had bad experiences necessarily, I just don't like finals.
Ups and downs. Certain classes I do better in, others. Usually the ones you're able to study for I can do better in. And usually teachers give you like either study guides or they let you review your last test.
I go through my past notes if I have any, or I go online and I just look it up. But if I'm honest, I probably don't study as much as I should.
For the Rock at Anacortes High School, I'm Eddie Clark.
Next week.
Next up, we have a segment focused on our very own Mr. Dickinson.
Most of you know him as the teacher for strength and conditioning here at the high school, but most of you don't know that he's decided to branch out from iron and pull-up.
Jade Carter and Mason Blackburn met up with him to discuss the inner details of Risen Bakery, his new business.
Two things that go perfectly together, cold weather and warm cinnamon rolls. AHS's own Scott Dickinson has mastered the art of cold weather delights with his new bakery, Risen, operated out of a converted mother-in-law behind his house.
Yeah, so growing up, my mom always had me in the kitchen and we were always making stuff, so I was never afraid to be in the kitchen and I know what to do in there, so it's not intimidating. So we started our business in May. So to start our business, we had to get a business license, Gadget County Health Department, all of that stuff that goes into actually serving people food that's not just made in your kitchen. So we have a commercial kitchen that we bake out of, that we sell our product, and so we've been doing that since May. So it really doesn't affect my teaching life in any way. This is something that I can manage it without having it affect other things that go on in my life, and stuff here, if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. So everything else comes before this. So having the bakery is like fifth on my list of things in my life. It's I have my family, teaching, young life coaching, and then it's bakery stuff. So it's a lot of work. If someone were to do this for a living, you have to put a lot of time in, and I just don't have that amount of time to dedicate to that. So that's why we have such a small menu, and we have a small bakery. But out of this can come, we can grow from this. So we have a website, so risenbakedgoods.com, that we sell all of our product on. During the summers, we're at the farmers market. So we're there selling products, but for right now, mainly it's e-commerce, and that's where you can buy product and pay for it, and we deliver it. So right now we just do cinnamon rolls. So that's kind of the one thing that I was I just want to do one thing and do it really well. And I think that we have a really good product, and I think that it's just the one thing that we do and that we'll be known for.
Wow, those cinnamon rolls looked amazing. I loafed them. I hope I can snag some from him sometime.
That sure was a jam-packed segment. For our last segment of the day, we wanted to look into the winter basketball season, though.
In case you haven't noticed, we really haven't had a gym for either of our teams to practice in or play on for home games.
However, as John Harrison found out in our last segment, they've been doing just fine over at Skagit Valley College.
With the high school's gymnasium out of commission for a whole year, the boys and girls basketball teams have had to find new areas to practice and play in. Boys varsity has been spending their evenings in the gym at Fidalgo Elementary for practice time, and we wanted to check in with them on how their season has been going.
Season's been going great, 6-1 in league, 8-6 right now overall. Pretty good, second in league. I think it's pretty good.
Who's your kind of competition for first?
Linden Christian. Yeah.
When it's time for competition, the team heads half an hour east to their temporary home court of Skagit Valley College. While both teams are thankful to have courts for the season, the road's not been completely smooth for both players and spectators. We spoke to Gabby Rongren, a senior member of the girls basketball team, for her opinions on the space.
Going to Skagit is kind of weird for us. It is different, I'd say. Even just shooting, you can tell the rims, the hoops, where you're shooting from, it's all just kind of different.
I'd much rather be home other than getting on a bus and driving over to Mount Vernon to play again.
Even though the action on the court is just as hot, the extra 30-minute drive has put off most casual fans, leaving Anacortes' student sections a bit clearer than last season's. However, the fans that do show up are just as invested during game time, and most players appreciate the high spirits brought to Anacortes games.
The environment there, especially having a lot of parents and supporters from the community, it's so much fun because they're there to support the team.
The crowd's still pretty loud. It's pretty nice, to be honest.
With boys varsity at 7 wins and girls varsity at 6, it's easy to see the teams are still holding strong, despite the shortcomings of not having a true home court. Be sure to go support your basketball teams at Skagit Valley College on Tuesday and Friday of next week. For The Rock at Anacortes High School, I'm John Harrison.
Well, that wraps up our show for today.
Be sure to email us any comments and suggestions to therock@asd103.org. We always love to hear your input.
Remember, we don't have any school tomorrow or Monday for Martin Luther King Day. And with that, I'm Will McCracken.
And I'm Lily Rose Day. And from our rock to yours,
have a great day, AHS.